What if the only person who could save you in your darkest moment was someone the world never noticed? In a place of wealth and power, where status defines worth, one wealthy businessman discovers that true love and destiny can be found in the most unexpected soul, a hotel cleaner. The grand chandeliers sparkled in the luxurious hotel lobby, their crystals scattering light across polished marble floors. Guests in designer suits and gowns moved gracefully between gilded pillars, their laughter echoing through the vast hall. Among the crowd, one man stood apart, Yusuf al-Mansouri, a wealthy Arab businessman, carried himself with the calm dignity of someone born into power. But today, his composure was cracking. His usually steady hands gestured anxiously as he tried to make himself understood. His voice, urgent and heavy with concern, stumbled over broken English. "Doctor, sister, private, please." The reception staff exchanged confused glances. Some tried to respond, but their fragmented words only deepened Yusuf's frustration. His sister, Amira, was upstairs in the suite, weak and pale, needing urgent attention. But language had suddenly become a wall, higher than any he had faced in business. Then, from behind the polished counter where no one expected salvation, a soft voice rose like a lifeline. "Would you like some coffee, sir?" The words flowed in perfect, melodic Arabic. Yusuf froze. His eyes turned, startled, toward the source. Standing a little apart, clutching her cleaning cart, was Maria, the hotel cleaner. For a moment, Yusuf could only stare. Her simple uniform, slightly faded at the edges, seemed out of place in such an elegant space, yet her voice carried warmth and familiarity that cut through his panic like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. You speak my language?" Yusuf asked in disbelief. Maria gave a shy but steady smile. "I learned it in Dubai. Please, tell me what you need." In a rush of relief, Yusuf poured out his words. His sister was unwell. She needed a private doctor immediately. Without hesitation, Maria translated his plea to the bewildered staff. Within minutes, arrangements were made. The tension that had gripped Yusuf's shoulders began to ease. That night, while Amira rested under the doctor's care, Yusuf found himself thinking of the woman who had appeared from nowhere. A cleaner, yet an angel in disguise. Over the days that followed, their paths crossed again and again. At first, Yusuf sought her out simply to thank her. But soon, he found himself lingering longer than he intended. They spoke in quiet corners, in the hum of the kitchen, in the stillness of early mornings before the lobby filled with guests. He learned that Maria was not just a cleaner. She had once been a bright university student, pursuing a degree in translation, but life had struck cruelly. Her father's illness, the mounting debts, and the need to care for her younger siblings had forced her to abandon her dreams and seek work wherever she could. Yusuf listened, not with pity, but with admiration. Beneath the simple uniform was a woman of intelligence, resilience, and dignity. He had met countless people dressed in silk and gold, but none had impressed him as deeply as this woman who cleaned floors with quiet grace. Maria, in turn, discovered a Yusuf the world seldom saw. Not just the heir to a vast fortune, not just a man surrounded by wealth, but someone who carried his own burdens, the expectations of a powerful family, the suffocating weight of duty, the loneliness that comes when everyone respects your name, but not your heart. Their bond grew in whispers and stolen moments. Amira, once frail but now recovering, noticed her brother's softened gaze when Maria entered the room. With a knowing smile, she began inviting Maria for tea, weaving her into their small circle, treating her not as staff, but as a friend. Yet shadows loomed. Word of Yusuf's growing closeness to the cleaner reached his father, Sheikh Rashid al-Mansuri, a man feared for his authority and revered for his traditions. Rashid arrived at the hotel, his presence commanding silence wherever he walked. His eyes, sharp as steel, took in Maria with a single glance. "You disappoint me, Yusuf," he said coldly. "You know of your arrangement with the Al-Hakim family. Their daughter Samira is your future. Not—" His gaze flicked toward Maria. "A maid." The words cut like knives, but Yusuf stood firm. For the first time in years, he found the courage to defy the path laid out for him. "Father," Yusuf said quietly but firmly, "Maria is not what you think. She is educated, kind, and strong. She reminds me of Mother." The mention of his late wife cracked Rashid's stern mask. For a fleeting second, pain flickered in his eyes, the pain of lost choices, of love sacrificed to duty long ago. Maria, sensing the storm within him, did not lower her eyes or retreat. She stood tall, her dignity unshaken, meeting Rashid's gaze with quiet strength. The confrontation with the Al-Hakim family was no less tense. Samira, the woman Yusuf was expected to marry, was elegant and graceful. Yet when Yusuf declared his truth, she surprised everyone. "I do not love Yusuf," she admitted, her voice trembling but resolute. "I have dreams of my own, dreams that do not lie within this arrangement. Let him follow his heart and allow me to follow mine." In that moment, centuries of tradition bent beneath the weight of honesty. The room that had been filled with tension softened, and even Rashid could not deny the power of what had just unfolded. Days later, under the golden glow of the setting sun, Yusuf slipped a pearl ring onto Maria's finger. "This is not just a promise," he whispered, "but proof that love can defy borders, traditions, and fear." 6 months later, Maria stood on the balcony of her new home in Dubai, the city lights glittering like jewels before her. She was no longer the woman who scrubbed hotel floors, but Yusuf's wife, his partner, his equal. Her unfinished dreams had found new life, not because Yusuf saved her, but because he believed in her when no one else did. And every evening, as the wind carried the scent of jasmine across their home, Maria remembered the moment that changed everything. A simple question spoken in Arabic. "Would you like some coffee, sir?" Because destiny often hides in the most ordinary words, waiting for the courage of two hearts to uncover it.